You just tuned it in.
Global and worldwide.
Hit you on the one with no delay. Because it's the fighter's voice.
The fighter's voice.
With your fighting host, Richard Ortiz.
And the formidable co-host,
Mr. Cole Escobedo. Remember, every fighter has a voice.
Selma, California, we're live here on the Fighter's Voice Knockout Podcast with Robert Garcia's Boxing Academy. We're here live. We're enduring. We're in the heat. We're bringing the heat. We have with us today the one and only, the redhead who raises the dead, the co-host with the most, the CUTWOMAN.
Hey.
Carol. I just call her Carol the CUTWOMAN. How we doing, Carol?
I'm doing great. It's hot out here.
It's hot out here, and it's hot out here because we're with the man, the myth, the legend, formerly Main Events Gym, now the newly Boxing Academy, Robert Garcia's Boxing Academy, Selma. We're taking it to new heights, new levels, and we're here to go nationwide. Welcome to the show. That's Mr. Al Perez Jr. How we doing, Al?
Hey, good, Rich. How are you?
Al, you know,
Hey.
Al, you know me. I have to give that big introduction, my man. That's right.
No,
we're here.
yeah.
We're here.
No,
We're here.
no legend, no myth. Just Al.
just Al, and making it happen. Now, first of all, man, thank you for having us here on the show on location, man. I think what you're doing here is just awesome. I heard it from the man himself, the founder, Robert Garcia. Boxing Academy in Riverside, and I asked him about how Selma Boxing Academy is doing, and he said, Richard, when Al came to me with this idea, I said, heck yeah. I mean, anything for the kids. It's a farm unit. Also, you have professionals here. You have people here that want to lose some pounds, people here that just want to get in shape. And from what I'm looking at, my experience, it's very family oriented. Tell us about the gym.
So we're here. We have our goal is here ultimately is we're starting over from scratch. So we're looking to build an amateur team here to compete nationally.
Right.
The talent that we find here, we shoot them directly up to Robert to go pro.
And that's Robert Garcia, the Hall of Fame trainer.
In Riverside.
Yes.
We're here, Central Valley. Yeah. So we're reaching out, trying to, look for fighters, and we're here in the country. So we're surrounded by fields, oranges, grapes. Just vineyards, all kinds of
agriculture,
ag here and
yeah.
stuff. And so, we believe fighters come out of this. Jose Ramirez came out of this same situation, So
Yeah.
this is where we think we're going to find the next Jose right here in the valley.
And we'll be talking more about Jose as the show goes on.
Yeah, and so what we do here is we have a 5 o'clock classes for, basics, that are green and stuff. And then we start our 6 o'clock for our competing pros and amateurs here.
Right.
We have a house here where we also house fighters for camps. So
wow.
Brian Liu will be moving in, and Cedro Ochoa.
And those are two top-ranked, undefeated professionals.
Yeah, yeah. So but we're looking to, I've heard we have a Mexico feel out here. I've heard it feels like Big Bear out here.
Big Bear, yeah.
Because we're half indoor and half outdoor, and
Right.
the conditions out here are ugly.
Well,
So
tell me a gym that's pretty. Tell me a gym
Yeah.
that has world champions. Tell me a gym that was first founded where it was they even had plumbing. I mean, you have plumbing, you have restrooms here, you have refreshments here, you got coaches here, and I'm
Right.
looking back here, and everybody is working and everybody is moving.
And it's
That's
a
right.
big time family environment. Everybody that car clubs get together out of cars. I mean, we get together here out of love for boxing, and when people come
That's
together
awesome.
for a love, all these guys, they bring us peaches, grapes,
Oh,
you know
that's
what I mean?
great.
Like, oranges. I mean, we're always, people bring water, and it's just a real good
That's really great.
family.
Well, I even
environment,
was
so.
informed that somebody even brought a Uleta here, a refrigerator here, man.
That someone brought us a refrigerator,
I mean, this whole thing is just coming together piece by piece. I remember talking to you about it, I believe it was 6 months ago, and it was just an idea. It was just a flyer, and now it's come to life. People even wait in line. The parking is through the roof.
I know.
When I came here, I thought somebody was having a quinceañera, man, to be honest with you, when I came down here. And I'm seeing all these young combatants. I can feel the energy, and
Definitely.
and to be honest with you, I see them in all shapes and sizes. Different nationalities are here.
Different
and,
levels.
And you're offering Selma, California, something that it's never had.
Yeah, and the valley, this is a real road where, our competing team, we're financing the whole thing. So
Right.
we're not going to have parents having to shell out. I mean, we're taking these kids on a full ride to compete, the ones that can compete.
Right.
So
all the way to nationals, all the way to the
all the
Junior
way.
Olympics and whatnot.
So But
You know, Al, you know, we're friends. We spoke, but I want the viewers and the fans and listeners to know where did you find the energy, one, and when did you get this vision?
you know, I've done a lot of crazy stuff. We've been boxing for 13 years, involved with stuff in our gym, and I never expected to be at this level. You know, my good friend Tommy Avalos. I started
Coach T.
Coach T.
Yeah.
I started training at this gym, Velarde's. I met T. We ended up being from the same hometown in San Jose, and
that's
we
right.
opened a gym from there. And we were just keeping kids off the street, and that's how it started. We were just, I mean, we're on a bad area on Belmont and Fresno, and
Yep.
it was prostitutes, drug addicts. I mean, and we were just taking kids off the street, and that's how it started. And this is where we're at. We never made a dime from boxing to this day. You know, we still haven't made no money. You know, but it's you know, it's a passion. You know, so
Definitely a passion.
but I see a future, you know, and we're all the things are lining up, and
Yeah.
we have some a couple fighters that are signed to Top Rank, and
Yeah.
a good relationship with Robert and Rick Marigian here locally,
Yeah.
you know, and Jose Ramirez, and you know, so I see you know, a positive future. We just got to keep picking away. So
Exactly. Carol, you've been in many gyms. You've paid your dues as a cut woman. You visited many gyms. You trained at many gyms. Where does this one fare with all the gyms? I mean,
I
just
think-
I mean, you can feel the love, can't you, as soon as you walk in here?
Oh, absolutely. You feel the love, you feel the passion of all the fighters. These people are coming from backgrounds that are like agricultural, and they're not from the big cities. And this is, like he said, it's almost like Big Bear, where they're training outside in tough conditions. The heat today is about 105 right now, you know.
then some.
Yeah, we both are.
Yeah.
And but look at these guys. Look at all these kids here. You know, he's given them a place to come and to call it their home.
I see kids here, I see adults here, and you know, you go to a soccer field and you see all these parents, they drop their kids off.
Yep.
And you have the ones that stick around and they watch their practice, and this is what I'm feeling here. Al, you sent me pictures before, but I've never felt this right here, right now, to see it live right now.
Yes.
Everybody comes in, everybody knows each other, everybody greets each other. I'm looking at a female, a little girl, she looks to be about maybe 5 years old, man. And what are the age groups that are here?
well, she's got to be about 8, but we do actually we have a class on Saturday mornings for 30 minutes for 4 and 5 year olds.
Oh no, I didn't
My
know
bad,
that.
I misjudged that. It might be the heat, man.
It's no, you know, they call. You would
Yeah.
imagine like the calls we get for 5-year-olds.
Really?
And so I have my son and my daughters training that class, that group.
Oh, there you go.
30, 45 minutes. Their attention span ain't that long.
Right.
Right,
But
that's
some
a
of
good
those
idea.
little guys that young, they got a little snap in their punch, man. You know.
Yeah.
And so it's I enjoy that. But here, like I said, we have a 5 o'clock that's a beginner, and then our 6 o'clock we get into our, you know, our competing pro and amateurs.
I was about to ask you that. When can we look forward to this club being proudly represented? What is the first event that Robert Garcia's Boxing Academy Selma is going to compete in?
We are going to be throwing this year October 6th at the Fresno Fairgrounds.
Fresno Fairgrounds.
Jose Ramirez will be there. Robert said he was coming down with some of his fighters,
Excellent.
amateurs from, and this is an amateur show from Riverside. You know, so I think it's going to be a good, you know, a good show. My son will debut on there, Adrian Perez.
Awesome.
Awesome.
We have a couple other guys here. Jenna will be on that show. You know, Jenna the Gym.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, we have the Fuentes brothers. They'll also be on
Oh,
that
they're
card.
very talented young men.
So it's gonna. We're excited about it. So that's October 6th. You know.
Man, and so that's the first debut from this gym. The first,
yeah.
where we have young fighters competing.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow,
Exactly.
man.
I can't wait. I'm gonna be there.
That's going to be
Yeah.
awesome right there, man. And I know when Robert comes down here, because Robert's full of love. I mean, the passion that he has. I mean, he's just going to be taken back with just the joy and the energy that he feels.
Yeah.
I mean, especially if I just walked in here and I'm feeling all this stuff
Yeah,
right now.
You know, Robert's super busy over there. You know, he's got a bunch of fighters and living in the house and stuff. And
Yeah.
I mean, he's busy, you know. So, but he offered out. He was anything for the kids. He'd come down and stuff. You
That
know,
says a lot.
I haven't told him anything about coming down yet because I know how busy he is.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
especially Jose. I mean, he's got fights every weekend. Him and his boys are going somewhere. You know, so.
You know what? Since you brought that up, man, we're going to stay on that subject right here because we're going to do a recap on Manny Pacquiao. But we're going to do that later on in the show. But I want to talk about what's taking place this Saturday. One of our own, Avenal's own, Jose Ramirez. I'm sorry, Jose Carlos Ramirez. Luis is his brother. My bad. I apologize for that. Is going to be fighting Maurice Hooker, champion versus champion. You've helped Jose coming up, just as a lot of locals have helped him, and now he's on the global circuit, the national circuit. I want your take on that whole fight. Watching him grow up from a young amateur where he started off in backyards like this, and now to the level of competition where he's at today.
Okay, I can tell you, I remember when I first met Jose, he came to our gym in Fresno at main event. And Jose, I mean, I didn't realize that at the time because I was new to boxing.
Right.
And Jose was still a teenager, you know, and that's when I first met Rick Merigian. And I didn't realize till years later. And it was something special.
Oh wow!
It was an era of others that came up with Jose. That the sparring, they didn't have to go nowhere for sparring. Bay Area, LA, they came here to the Valley to spar.
That's awesome.
But I didn't, you know, years later I realized. I go, after I seen the next group coming in, I go, man, that was a special group right there.
That
you
was
know,
special.
But with Jose, I mean, he's, you know, he works the hardest. I mean, strength and conditioning, boxing. You hit him, he's got to hit you back 2 times.
Yep.
You know, his will is huge. I just don't see anybody beating his will. His will is the factor here. You know, and then his conditioning. I mean, you know,
Charles Tripley's doing an outstanding job with him, and his whole team. Rick's taking care of business like no other, and Robert Garcia, to have him. I mean, let's keep it real here. Jose Ramirez has the best of both worlds. He won the title with Freddie Roach, Hall of Fame trainer. Now he's about to win a second title with Robert Garcia. I mean, both those two trainers, everything that he's been absorbing, he is a sponge, and his tenacity is second to none.
I mean, all the sparring that early on he got with Pacquiao being, you know,
in the Philippines
and stuff. I mean, he's more than prepared for this fight. You know, I'm Jose Team Ramirez all the way. You know, so
100%
all the
on
way,
that.
all the way. And we have with us, didn't mean to cut you off, Carol the CUTWOMAN, who will be in the corner of a fighter. Was it Rodney?
Yeah.
Rodney, what's Rodney's last name?
Rodney Hernandez.
Rodney Hernandez,
King
who's gonna be on the
Heavyweight.
undercard.
Yeah, heavyweight.
He's gonna be on the undercard of the Jose Ramirez card.
Yeah,
so
Rodney.
Carol, after today's event, is gonna be getting on a plane and flying somewhere.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Arlington, Texas. Yeah.
Man, and you got that news win this morning?
Yeah.
Only on the Fighter's Voice Knockout Podcast, man, is when we drop news, we drop knowledge.
That's right.
And we have future Hall of Famers on the show, heavyweight champions on the show.
That's right.
You name it, hey, you see it, it comes to pass, man.
You got that.
I want to ask you, because you're going to be taking care of business with Rodney, you're heavyweight. I want you to break down the Ramirez fight. We spoke earlier off camera, and you were telling me you can't wait for that fight. It is going to be a difficult fight, but you have Jose pulling it off. What are the key reasons why he's going to be victorious Saturday?
Like Big Al said, is, you know, his will, number one, and secondly his conditioning. But overall, I think, you know, he's got his, you know, his left hook, he's got his movement, he's got all that slick move in the ring. As far as Hooker, I think, you know, he's got a good right hand. But I still, regardless, I see Ramirez taking the fight, no doubt.
It's kind of a mimic style of Amir Aman. In my opinion,
Yes,
the same thing, that big right hand, the conventional, the jab, and we noticed from the 9th round on, the two just separate themselves. If you remember, Madison Square Garden, he did what he needed to do to come home with that green belt.
Yeah, Jose's conditioning kicks in, stays there.
That's right.
I think a factor right here is his body shots.
His body shots are above. I mean, all the rest.
No one's gonna be able to hold
Hell
that,
no.
No. We were in Riverside, and we happened to be there on a Thursday, Team Fighter's Voice, and we got to see some sparring, and we got to see just Jose let loose. And you were right. You hit me, I'm gonna hit you back twice.
Yeah.
There was a young sparring partner. I'm not gonna say who his name is. He's a young prospect, and he wanted to let the champ know, hey, I'm here. But the champ let him know, okay, this is a sparring session. But he didn't get it in the second round. In the second round, the champ had to let him know, okay, this is my cage, this is my ring right now.
Yep.
And he let him know with a couple body shots.
I heard that in sparring that Jose he was beating up his sparring partner so bad that they weren't even coming back getting paid. I mean, and then he realized that, you know, I can't go so hard on these guys because I need some kind of work from them. If I hit them too hard, then they shut down on their offense, you know, and I need to work my defense, you know.
Exactly.
You know, so I heard that from somebody.
Well, we have a team here, and I wish I can say more, but I don't want to put my source on blast. But he was giving me some information on some of the sparring sessions with Maurice Hooker, preparing himself for this Jose Ramirez fight. I just don't want to be the one to do that now, but there is concern coming out of that camp. So I'm I'm gonna cut right through the chase, man. I want your take in what round and who's gonna be victorious, and then I'll give you mine before we send Al his way and he brings one young prospect on the show.
I think Ramirez is going to break him down with the body shots and with his hooks and his foot movement and you know, using his angles and getting in and out. I think he's probably going to take him out. It might knock him out even in the 10th round, but it can possibly go the distance.
Al, what's your take on that? I know who you have winning. I just want to know how. How do you see this fight taking place?
7th body shot.
7th body shot.
Yeah.
Well, hey, it's going to be a tough fight. I got to give Maurice Hooker credit. He called out Jose at first. He on an ESPN Live Top Rank. He said, you know what? You have my belt. And Jose said Jose was in there, show class, didn't go tit for tat with him as far as the vocal part. But at the end of the day, you got two men, two champions. They both have the same tenacity to win, but there's only one that has that will beyond the will. When Jose Ramirez was in Fresno, California, Orozco, it was a very tough fight, but Jose won the tough rounds. He won the rounds that he needed to win. And being that said, I got Jose Ramirez, and I will agree with you. I have him 7th round.
7th?
TKO to be victorious, to come back and then look for his career to even blossom even more, because that division, the 140 to 147, it is full of dogs. When I say dogs, that term in boxing, that term in the fight term means nobody bows down. They come barking, they come fighting, they come with that tenacity. So he's not in a weak division where, you know, back now we're full of a bunch of competing heavyweights, but back then the heavyweight division wasn't what it is today.
Yeah. Excited about heavyweights right now.
Oh, are you? Well, then we're going to have to keep you on the second segment. We're going to continue to roll through, my man.
I heard the reason why we hadn't had heavyweights for a long time because they're all playing football, you know?
Yeah. Well, speaking of football, didn't one of your guys that we're going to have on the show right now, didn't he get a football scholarship? And he's going to be coming on the show,
he just
and
graduated.
He's athletic, and he's going to want to come and put the gloves on.
Yeah. He just graduated from Arizona University. He was got a full ride scholarship for tight end.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
He's like 6'4", 240,
Yeah.
you know, so heavyweight. Omar's got to work mitts with him. We're going to have to build him a box or something to get up there because he's got to get pretty high.
Oh, yeah. You can see the height difference right there.
That's funny.
And let's talk about one of your trainers, Omar, man. I mean, he just has that love for the sport. He has that passion.
Yep. Yeah.
And if there's ever a day he's not doing boxing, I'm hearing he shadow boxes even on his day off, working with kids constantly.
You know, Omar is a class act. I mean, passionate just like we are about this sport. You know, Omar drove a kid that he didn't know to Mexico, got him a flight, his first debut.
Oh, wow.
Drove him there and back, did not get paid a dime. I mean, he's always putting in time.
That's great.
He's built, he started a lot of these amateurs that have went pro, you know, from the valley and stuff.
Right.
You know, maybe they didn't stay, you know, and they moved on, but he started a lot of them.
But he gave them their time and their start. Basically, he gave them their opportunity.
Oh, yeah. You know, so he teaches good technique. I'm happy with his style.
And
kids love him.
And you know, Al, you know as well as I know, a lot of these fighters, they don't get the opportunity. But it looks like here they're getting an opportunity to compete, to chase their dreams.
Right.
I'm looking at a young man right now who's hitting the double in bag by himself without a coach there. That means he has that passion for it.
Yeah. Well, this group too is more advanced and stuff, so they know what they're doing. You know, they'll hit the mitts later on, and we're going to be doing some sparring today. So we got some other gyms here.
Oh yeah, we're going to have to get some good content of that. Well, I can't let you go just yet, man. We need to do a recap, and you know we're going to be talking about Keith One-Time Thurman and Manny Pacquiao.
Oh.
Carol, first of all, I want your take on this. I know you were excited as soon as this fight was signed.
Oh yeah.
As soon as this fight was announced, I remember you saying, "Oh, I'm going to go to that fight." But you constantly get all these opportunities and you know, to go work the corners of fights, giving back constantly, man. Tell us, first of all, because I was expecting you in Vegas.
I know.
And you're a no-show. I expected you at Wild Card, but you're a no-show.
It was the
but
first
it's okay.
time
I'm giving you a hard time.
It was the first time that I said, you know, I guess it was because I had some family vacation, and so that kind of interfered a little bit.
Family
but
first.
Exactly.
What did you think about the fight?
I think it was tremendous. It was just outstanding. I was so excited, especially when Pacquiao dropped Thurman, and the look on Thurman's face. You know, he was smiling like he knew. Oh, I got caught on that. You know, backed up with his hands down. You know, and he just got caught. But I really enjoyed to see Pacquiao do what he does best, you know, with the high punch volume, getting in, getting out, moving around. He's got great footwork. Thurman, he wasn't landing as effective punches as Pacquiao was, and when Pacquiao got that body shot on Thurman, I knew right away because he grabbed his mouthpiece and he pulled it out. And a lot of people didn't really notice it, but those are little things that I noticed. I'm like, what's he doing? Why is he, I knew that's because he was trying to gasp for air.
Yeah.
He needed to get a good breath of air because he got that real hard body shot. It almost dropped him. So it was, I think that the result is what it should have been. It was awesome.
What was your take on that, Al? I know you invited me. You texted me and said, hey, where you at? Get down here.
Yeah, we had the gym. We all watched the fight here together.
Nice.
That's cool.
I don't think it was the same Thurman.
Oh, that's true. I think I agree with that.
Yeah, I kept saying, people were asking me who I think would win, and I go, well, if the old Thurman comes back, the one that fought Garcia, Porter,
right?
Then Pacquiao, it's going to be a real good fight, because Pacquiao is going to show up,
Yep.
And I just don't think it was the same Thurman, I think he was, he's not the same, even after the Josecito fight, he didn't look like the old Thurman, so that's what I was waiting to see which Thurman was going to show up, and I don't think he was 100%, I'd like to see, him fight, who was calling him out, I seen someone who was calling him out after.
Calling out Thurman?
Yeah.
AB?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, AB. Yeah, fight AB, get a couple more, and then come back and rematch with Pacquiao, But 100%, so... that's just...
Okay, I'm going to ask you that. When you say 100%, why was he not 100%? You think the shoulder was still bothering him? You think the fact that he was fighting
probably needed a couple more fights. He took 2 years off.
Yeah.
I'm a Pacquiao fan and I'm a Thurman fan.
Yeah, me too.
And I was telling people, if Thurman don't show up, I want Pacquiao to win. But if Thurman does show up, I want Thurman to win because he's going to take the crown. And then we're going to see some great fights after,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it was a little bit, I don't know, I think he should have fought a couple more times before
taking that on.
Yeah.
Well, I think that was a genius move on Team Pacquiao. First of all, they saw something, and believe me, you take every inch, every opportunity that you can take. And I'm not taking anything away from the Senator, man. I mean, he fights the best. I mean, right now, sky's the limit. 40 years old. I mean, I'm rooting for the older guy.
Yeah.
Class act inside and out the ring. With the exception of a little bit of more chirping than usual by Keith Thurman. I'm a Thurman fan as well.
Yeah, me too.
But being there, feeling the energy, I mean, it reminded me of, because I've never been live to Julio Cesar Chavez fan, but I've been to watching the fights and watching it on TV, so I could only imagine. But Al, Filipinos, and I told them, because I had the opportunity of interviewing Manny Pacquiao, and I said, you roll deep with Philippines. You bring the whole Philippines with you. I mean, he rolls deep. And if you were not a Manny Pacquiao fan, I actually saw fans that were kind of neutral, didn't know what to expect,
Exactly.
Carol. They transition on the way, and you could not help but just root for Manny Pacquiao.
Oh, no doubt.
When he comes in the ring, he is a living legend.
That's right.
I mean, brings a whole side of a world with him.
Right.
Yeah.
I experienced that when he fought Broner. I was in Vegas for the Broner fight. So
That's right, you were.
it was probably the same experience that you had, seeing, all of the Filipino families and everybody there.
And they're warm. They
remind
me of the Mexicanos, the Chicanos.
Yes.
They're all there.
That's
They
right.
remind me of that same family oriented,
That's right. But they give them all that love and support.
They do.
But like you said, there were fans that I noticed that I think were kind of neutral, but then they shifted over to a Pacquiao fan when it was all said and done, because of just what a performance he always puts on, and just what he does for his country and for the people, and that's why I think he has so much love for from the people from his country, as well as here.
Definitely.
Exactly. We're going to take a commercial break in 1 minute, but what I do want to acknowledge, Al, is first of all, I want to say thank you to Sean Gibbons, man. Class act. He treated me like no other. The corner man, Mike Rodriguez, my man, took care of me. Just the respect level that he had, networked for me. The whole corner, Marie from Wildcard. I mean, just class act 100%. I mean, to take somebody from Fresno, California, treat them at the highest level, and just giving me the opportunity to meet and show I am who I say I am. A lot of people will say they may not and just the opportunity. We talked about the opportunity to sit down with the senator. And to be honest with you, KP behind camera, it didn't hit me until 2 days later when we were driving.
Really?
What just happened? You know,
Oh,
that was
you know what? I could
that
believe
was the
that.
senator next to me.
No kidding.
Right? And prior to that, I'll tell you about that interview because I inboxed you something, right? Meaning, okay, I'm getting ready to have some words with Manny Pacquiao. And the best thing, you had ABC, you had Fox there. The best thing that Sean can do was not give me time to think. He said, all right, Rich, get in there.
Yeah.
Was no time to think and just let it roll.
Yeah.
So, Sean, I appreciate that opportunity, man. Class act. Brandon, your son. Team Manny Pacquiao, the senator, man. Class act right now. Hey, we're going to take a commercial break. Come back here live. Robert Garcia's Boxing Academy, Selma. Our guest, Big Al Perez. And the CUTWOMAN, Carol, with the one and only co-host, Rich Ortiz. The fighter's voice, the only voice that matters. We're simply knocking out the competition. Talk to you in a few.
Remember, every fighter has a voice.
What's up, guys? Daniel Cormier. I'm with the Fighter's Voice radio show.
We're more than just a voice. The fighter's voice. It's time for the Fighter's Voice radio show with your fighting host, Richard Ortiz, and the formidable co-host, Cole Escobedo. Fighter's Voice radio show.
Selma, California, we're live and we're back. This time with us, we have Andrew Yates, who just graduated from college, played football. I believe it was safety or defensive end, whatever it was. The guy's big enough to be a football himself, man. Got a bright future, very athletic in high school, very athletic in college. But ladies and gentlemen, we have a first. He wants to try. Not try, he is now going to compete in the beautiful thing that we call the sweet science, and that's boxing. Welcome to the show, Andrew.
Glad to be here.
Man, pleasure, man. I've been hearing good things from Al Perez.
Yeah, I mean, I just started boxing about 2 weeks ago. It's going on my third week here. Found this place online, my first time boxing. Came and tried it out and fell in love with it.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, you found a gym. Not a G-Y-M, a gym. A G-E-M, only because the background, the family capacity here, the connections that are here, where it's founded, Robert Garcia Boxing Academy in Riverside, Hall of Fame, Robert Garcia. I mean, the list goes on and on, but there's only a few Hall of Famers, man. And they don't just give away Hall of Fame tickets. You got to earn that, both
right.
training and boxing. I'm gonna let Carol break you down, man, because she's the trainer. And she's been around a lot of athletes. And I want you to let Drew know the transition he needs to make from the football field to the boxing ring, because it'll make you and break you. If you can give him advice right off the bat right now, what advice would you give him?
Well, I don't know too much on the training on the football end of things, but I do know that the boxing training is very, intense and is different from any other sport, different from, football, baseball, whatever else is out there. But it depends on what your plan is as far as what are you going to do with the boxing? How are you enjoying it right now? What's your plan as far as do you plan to maybe compete? How far are you wanting to possibly take boxing?
Yeah, I'm naturally competitive, so I'm looking for that next thing. I'm going to take boxing as far as it lets me go.
That's good.
I'm hoping to get my first fight by the end of the year. There's not too much time of, boxing under my belt, but
That's
might as
good.
well take a chance.
What weight are you at?
I'm 220 right now.
Oh, okay. All right. That's good.
How old are you, man?
23.
Oh, man, you're a puppy, man. You're a pup. You got your whole career ahead of you.
That's
I
right.
hope so.
That's right. So how do you like the training that you're experiencing here with boxing versus what you were doing when you were doing, training in football?
Conditioning.
Everybody says
different, Totally different.
That-
Yeah, as far as the strength training goes, I'm used to that. I've been doing that
Right.
forever. The running, the upper body conditioning is totally different from football.
Right. Hitting the bags, hitting the mitts, your
yes.
shoulders, your arms. You can't even lift them anymore or throw another punch,
Yeah, you find out very soon all that muscle you got don't count
That's
for
right.
nothing.
Exactly. No, it actually is not always the best, I mean, if you're a bulky guy, that slows you down and tires you out. So you're pretty tall and lean. So I think that you'd be a very good prospect in boxing.
Hopefully. We'll
Yeah,
see.
very promising, that's for sure.
Who do you got working with you? What trainer are you working with?
I'm working with Omar.
Omar. We
Okay,
were just
good.
talking about Omar, man, the passion that he has for the sport, man, and how you guys working together? Because I know there's a height difference, but how you guys
Yeah.
adapting to that?
So he actually has to stand on the side of the ring and work
Oh, okay.
work the mitts with me.
Well, how tall are you exactly, man?
6'4".
6'4"?
Oh
Yes, sir.
wow.
Yeah, yeah, you got some height on you, man.
Yeah.
Got some height on you.
And look at his reach, man. You got some long arms too.
Yeah.
You do, man.
You know that? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's going to be a great advantage, man. Work on the outside, you know.
Yeah,
Especially that
hopefully.
jab.
Like I said, I just gotta get my conditioning down to be able to be able to last.
It'll take you a minute, but you'll
Yeah.
get it.
So, how do you like the training here? I mean, the conditioning as well too, because I'm looking straight ahead. The camera can't spot it, but this is where you make you and break you. There's a play field here, your own play field of cardio. I'm looking at tires. I'm looking at ropes. I'm looking at the whole different
A dirt track to run on.
Exactly, the whole different cardio aspect of it, man. How can you compare the two to pre training camp with football?
Basically, the duration and intensity of it. Football, we're gonna go more, short sprints. Out here, we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna mix in those that long cardio, and you just got to be. You have to be conditioned on all facets, when it comes to that. As far as training here, it's great. I've caught on fast, like I said, I've only been here 2 weeks.
I could tell you're a natural athlete,
Yeah, I mean, that probably helps, but
Yeah.
I want to give all credit to Omar. That dude's amazing.
That's great.
And that dude, he's a great coach.
Good for you.
No, he is, and you got to remember, he sees little things that other people can't, and he has the patience to make those corrections. And I'm going to sit down with Omar and later on in the show, and I'm going to ask him about you, man. I'm also going to ask him, where does he find the energy? Because the man is nonstop boxing, nonstop sweet science, nonstop teaching, and nonstop learning, man. Being out there, and I know you've always been able to cling along with a certain coach, a defensive coach or offensive coach, being able to cling on to Omar, and this is your third week working with him, and you talked about possibly competing this year. Now, I didn't ask, will you be doing any amateurs first or go straight pro?
I'm gonna fight amateur first.
Oh, okay, good,
I think
good,
that's what's
good. Good
that's
call.
smart. It's gonna be
Yeah.
a big learning curve trying to jump
Sure.
to pro. So
Especially if he's just starting out,
Yeah.
yeah, so I mean, if I were to ever jump to pro, which hopefully I will, got to start on the right foot. Start with some wins, get some wins under my belt.
Yeah.
So, listen, I'm going to switch it up a little bit, man. When you did play football, who was your team and what position did you play?
Where I played at?
No, what position did you play in football, and
played-
who was your professional team? Who do you root for?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I played tight end in
Okay.
college. My team's the Eagles, man. My
Oh,
dad's
man.
born and raised Philly.
Oh, okay. Philly. Did you guys go running up those steps?
Yeah.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
wow,
a trip.
man.
I've
That's
always
cool.
wanted to do that. One
That's
day
on my
I'm going
bucket-
to.
That's on my
Yeah.
bucket list.
Me too.
Yeah, I've been there only one time, but we're talking
That's
about-
all you need, just to experience it,
Yeah, it's different.
So did you feel like Rocky afterwards, man? Did you feel like that, that eye of that tiger?
Hey, that's
Yeah.
what
Hey,
got him here.
I would love to do exactly.
That's what
got
brought
you
him here.
Yeah.
So, what did your dad think about you switching from football and to the sweet science of boxing?
He obviously supports it. It's not football. He's a football guy. He's fairly new to boxing. Combat sports in general, but anything competitive he supports. And so as far as I'm willing to take it, that's as far as he's willing to support it.
So, how has your regimen changed?
As far as the training goes.
Yeah, exactly. How does your day start? Even though you're young to the sport.
Yeah, so usually I wake up, I work a full-time job, so I actually
Okay.
have to wake up 6 in the morning.
Okay.
I go work all day, I get off. I live in Hanford and I work in Farmersville, so I actually have to drive 30 minutes every day out here
Oh, wow.
to train.
Dedication there.
Yeah, come out here, train 2 hours every day, and drive back to Hanford, do it again.
There you are, man. I mean, you're putting in the work and
Dedication.
Have you had your sparring session? I'm looking behind us, man. There's some sparring going on, right?
Yeah, I haven't sparred yet. I've only sparred once since I've been going to this gym, so today
Okay.
is probably going to be my second sparring session.
Oh, okay, we're gonna have to check that out, man.
Yeah.
All cameras off when we do that, but right now you see some sparring. The fighter's voice, the only voice that matters, was simply knocking out the competition. We're bringing you live sparring. We're bringing you guests, and we're here, man, enduring, man, because it's hot as you know what out here, man. I mean, it really is, my man. And you know what, Big Al, he also runs a printing company. So he's gonna hook us up with some shirts, man, and we're gonna make sure we get you a shirt. But I'm gonna tell him I want your shirt a little different. I want it kind of like that, you know that where you're able to sweat it and be cool. You know those
The
little cool
dry
shirts.
fit.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
The
dry
wicking
fit.
or something?
Yeah,
dry,
yeah,
whatever.
the dry fit, so you can
The
do it
wicking
when you're
one.
sparring. Maybe even a sleeveless one. You like wearing sleeveless shirts, man. But I gotta ask you this, man. Put you on the hot seat, man. Who's your favorite fighter?
My favorite fighter right now probably be Canelo Alvarez.
Oh, there you go, man.
Dude's bulletproof.
Oh man, you can't go wrong unless you feed him some goddamn salo or something, man. Then something's go wrong. No, I don't want to. No, I mean, hey, I don't want to take no cheap shot. That's Oscar's boy right there, man. And Carnelo, hey, he wanted to move up all the way to light heavy or catch weight. I'm not sure exactly what it was, and he was offered the Crusher a fight.
Right.
For whatever reason, the Crusher didn't want to take it. There was a lot of millions on the table, man. You thought about that too? Does that influence you at all? The big paydays, or just wanting to challenge yourself as an athlete?
I mean, money's definitely a part of it. That's always a motivation, being able to, make a living out of playing sports and, fighting. But at the end of the day, it's just that competitive spirit I naturally got in me. I just got to go do something. I want to be good at something, and I feel like this is something I can really excel at. So we'll see.
Hey, man, appreciate you taking your time out here, man, coming on The Fighter's Voice as a guest. And we're going to be watching you, supporting you, and I'm excited, man. I mean, I know Carol's excited. Maybe one day she'll hold the mitts for you, man.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Carol,
sure.
Carol's bad. That's a cut woman right there, man.
Hey, I'm here for it.
Oh, there you are. There you are. Hey, Rich Ortiz here, your host with the most for The Fighter's Voice Knockout Podcast. We're going to take a break, and we'll be coming right back. Robert Garcia's Boxing Academy, Selma, California.
Knocking out the competition.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Lupe Contreras, and you're watching The Fighter's Voice.
The Fighter's Voice. It's time for the Fighter's Voice radio show with your fighting host, Richard Ortiz, and the formidable co-host, Cole Escovedo. Fighter's Voice radio show.
Hey, we're back. Selma, California. Hey, when it said Co Escovedo, that's for the Fighter's Voice Kick-Ass podcast on Wednesdays. I'm trying to get Carol down here, man, so we can revise that and say the co-host with the most, Carol, the cut woman, the redhead that raises the dead with the left and right. You know
That'll
what I mean?
work.
And someone get knocked out tonight. Today's guest, we have with us Stephen Rivas. No, not Rivas. What did I want to say? Brissett. I'm thinking Rivas because we got Rivas in the background.
Yes,
I can't wait to get him back on the show. Brissett, my man. Last time we did a little soundbite. First of all, welcome to the show, my man.
Thank you.
Okay, you get this a lot, right? Anybody ever say you look like a Chinese Carnelo?
Yeah, I got Canelo, Chino Rojo, and I got all that.
Oh, there you go. And you look like those
You do.
Mexicanos that are güero but just talk Spanish all day.
See, I speak German though.
Oh, do you?
Oh, really?
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, so you getting ready to kick some German ass then, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Maybe go to Oxford and see some Russians or something.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Someone with some Russians with high heels on.
Yeah. I don't know about that.
Well, there you go. I mean, I get your lift. I know exactly what you're talking about, man. But no, man. Hey, welcome on the show. We're on location. We're making it happen, and this is our first of many to come here. We're going to do a series here because Big Al's a big supporter of the Fighter's Voice, and I'll tell you, one day how the story started with the Fighter's Voice. But right now, I want to hear about you, man. I mean, are you an ex-MMA fighter, or were you trained also MMA? You got an amateur background. Tell the viewers, the fans, and the listeners exactly who the redhead is.
I grew up.
The other redhead.
The other redhead. The redhead with short hair.
There you go. Now I grew up wrestling all my life. And
okay.
Then,
You look like a wrestler.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So I grew up wrestling all my life, and then I was wrestling in Vacaville, and then went to school at SF State, and I was rolling around different gyms and stuff, a little bit of MMA background. Never did compete with MMA, but I wanted to. But I was always practicing kickboxing and Muay Thai and stuff like that, and then I got stuck with boxing, and I kind of fell in love with it. And personally, I think that you make more money boxing than you do MMA, and you don't get hurt as much, more or less. So, but
I think it's a little bit longer lived too, in boxing than it is in MMA.
And then I had my fair share of little brawls in the streets and stuff until I met my coach in Fairfield at the time, and he said, why fight on the streets for free when you can fight in the ring for money? And ever since then, I said I like that, and I was stuck to boxing ever since.
Hey man, whatever influences you, inspires you to put the work in. Some say money, some say just for defense, some say I'm chasing something that's I've never had in my life, and that's a championship bout or just to compete.
Right.
Hey man, to each their own, man. Because a lot of people, I'm gonna be honest with you, some will say, okay, well his heart's not in it because he's fighting for money. Okay, well you're not fighting for free.
Right.
So I know they're not saying no to a check, right? I just want to clarify that too, because that's always been like the last one on the totem pole. Oh, well he's fighting for money. Exactly. I mean, I'm not doing this for free. I mean, we all got to get paid and bills to pay, right? So let's talk about you making your amateur debut, representing Robert Garcia's Boxing Academy Selma. When is that going to happen, and when do you see yourself turning pro. I want the whole guideline. I want your whole recipe right now.
So I had my first amateur fight earlier in February at the Golden Gloves.
Oh, okay. So you did compete in boxing already.
And I took second there, but
right on.
yeah, and then I was shifting around and making different life choices, and I moved down here to the area, and I saw this gym, and ever since then I've been with the gym, and I'm surrounded by good people and really strong coaches and stuff like that, and strong sparring, and working on a plan to cut down the weight and hopefully fight in Mexico for pro debut.
Well, I've been working on that plan too, man. I got to get on that plan. I really got to kick it into gear, man. My left knee's killing me, man. Carol, man, I mean, you see and you hear stories like this all the time.
Yeah.
Again, I'm going to ask you, by your experience, what advice do you have to give this young man? I mean, he's already had his amateur debut, and you can kind of hear exactly where he wants to go with his career.
Right. I would say just, if you do have all the passion that you say you do, just stick to it and continue to train, continue to compete, and hopefully you don't have any issues with wanting to, only do it for a short time.
Yeah.
Hopefully you have a long-term plan, and that's a good thing. That's what you want to do. But you're with the right team, you're with the right gym, and that's going to help you get right where you need to go.
Yes, most definitely. I love everybody here. Strong sparring, and it wasn't like the sparring I was get back in the Bay Area or anything like that, or the coaching skills that I have here. And I think from where I was there and then here, I think my boxing and my everything, my stamina, my endurance, everything has already escalated. And
that's great.
I'm doing some sparring right now, man, with these little floating things around. Man. It must be the cologne I have on or something, man, because they're just attacking me. I'm kind of doing that shoulder roll, but it's really not working.
That's why we have the best
the
head movement over here, because we got a bob and weave.
But
you got a duck.
I like that, man. I mean, everybody's here and everybody's moving, everybody's training, everybody's having a good time, man. And the last time I spoke to you, man, I got to see you move around, and I'm thinking, to be honest with you, because sometimes I'll see faces and then I don't see them again.
Right.
And I'm glad to see you still here, man, sticking it out. You're in good hands. Al Perez, I mean, he has a vision. He was on the show earlier, and his vision, I mean, just started off with just wanting to help people, just putting a boxing gym together, and now he has two champions in hand that are signed with Top Rank, and also supportive of our world champion, the Avenal kid, Jose Ramirez, man. Have you had time to check out any of Jose Ramirez's fights at all?
Yeah, a little bit. Not too much as I'd like to, but that was the thing too. When I shifted from wrestling to MMA to boxing, I didn't really know much about any boxing, and I just kind of worried about myself and stayed in my lane and just went straight from there.
Yeah, just stay focused. Stay focused, because I'm sure you've realized that boxing is like no other.
Oh yeah.
Really, so that's good. You just stick to it.
Yeah. So. I'm doing good so far.
Carol's looking at me and she's laughing because she goes, Richard, you're getting your ass kicked by these bugs right now, man. And that's only because someone brought some fresh peaches, man. Don't let that stop you from coming down here. Al brought fresh peaches. He brought oranges. He brought strawberries. And he's going to bring the Fighter's Voice some new attire, some Fighter's Voice knockout kick-ass podcast shirts. I'm going to be going into his I want to call it his back case, so to speak, because that's where it's all done. You got main events graphics right inside there, and he's taking care of business. Just like we're going to take care of business, man. I want to thank you for taking time off your workout. You're going to be doing some sparring today?
Yeah, I'm going to work around with Drew and give him some work and work on some
Hey, we're going to check you out. Any last words for him, Carol?
Well, I'm anxious to see you continue to train, and hopefully, like you said, I want to see you here next time I come.
Absolutely.
So that's a good sign.
I'll still be here.
Good, that's good.
There you are. We'll take you up on that word, my man.
Thank you for having me.
Good to meet you, man.
Yes, absolutely. Hey, Rich Ortiz, we're going to take a commercial break. We'll be coming right back. Remember, Robert Garcia's Boxing Academy, Selma, and we're live, the Fighter's Voice on location. Coming right back.
Thank you.
I'm Bob Arum, and I'm with the Fighter's Voice.
My name is Andre Ward.
Knocking out the competition.
Fighter's Voice!
The Fighter's Voice.
Hi, I'm Jose Ramirez.
I'm Bob Arum.
Hi, I'm Robert Garcia, and I'm with the Fighter's Voice.
The only radio show knocking out the competition. The Fighter's Voice Radio Show.
Selma, California, we're back live here at Robert Garcia's Boxing Academy. Selma, monitor on my left ear. We have with us the undefeated prospect, Mr. Omar Sanchez, who's 5-0 with 4 knockouts. Welcome to the Fighter's Voice Knockout Podcast, my man.
How you doing, Richard?
I'm doing good, man. Hey, last time I saw you, I really didn't get a chance to sit down and talk to you like I wanted to. You were putting in work, you were hitting the heavy bag, you were working the mittens, you were just all over, man. But I told Al, hey, make sure we get that kid back on the show. You're here. Thank you, first of all, for taking time out of your workout to join the Fighter's Voice, man.
No, I want to say thank you for you guys having me on the show.
Oh, it's our pleasure, man. It's our pleasure, man. So tell us, man, what's it like being the son of a trainer? I mean, I want to ask you this like I ask a lot of people. I don't know if someone's blowing me up, I'll ignore them. I want to ask you like I always ask a lot of other people. I'll put this nonsense down here right here. Like a lot of other people, like that kids were their father is their trainer. Let's just cut right through it. When does it turn off? Like practice, we'll say, for example, practice is over at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
When does it turn off and it's just a father and son relationship? No more, hey, you should have slipped that right hand, or let's go do some jogging, or let's go watch this fight film together. When does it turn off for you?
I mean, it's kind of hard having a dad as a coach because he wants you to succeed more than the other kids because he's your blood, you know?
Yeah.
And sometimes he go overboard when we get home and I'm just relaxing. He'll be like, hey, you need to go run. And I'm just like, it's my time off. And sometimes
I appreciate these real answers here because a lot of them say, oh, it's all fine and dandy. No. We get along great.
No.
We go to Disneyland. He buys me pizza. No, you're keeping it real. I like that.
No.
Yeah.
But
that's who makes you who you are.
Yeah.
And that's why you're here today. That makes you tough as a fighter, mentally, spiritually, and physically.
Yes, sir. But he knows how, I've been talking to him, and lately he's been trying to control it lately and give my time off when I needed it. But when we're in the gym, we stay focused. We gotta do what we gotta do, and that's it.
Carol, you're around a bunch of father and son relationships, man. What's your whole take on this? You heard the young man say, you know what, he keeps it real. He understands that his dad's on him. A lot of times he wants to take some relaxations, but at the end of the day, he knows his dad kind of knows from that experience.
Right. And for those of you who don't know, this is Evan, and Evan is Omar's son.
Yeah.
And
Omar Sanchez.
Omar Sanchez, yes. And to answer your question, I find that most of the father-son relationships are actually kind of strained. You know, like it's a lot of chaos because of the fact that, you know, if the fighter does want to have a downtime, the father may want them to push themselves even harder. But at the same time, I find that at their best, when the fighter's at their best, that is a lot to do with having the father as the coach and being the father figure. So being able to do both is I think, really amazing. But it's not easy.
Did you bring your stuff with you as a cut woman? Because I think I'm getting cut around here, man. You really got to patch me up.
Yes.
Cut me, Mickey. Cut me.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because these little things are coming at me, man. And I'm bobbing and weaving, man. But you know what? Hey, you're at the right place, man. I mean, it could be rain, it could be hail, whatever it is. You're here, you're enduring, and you're putting it in.
Yeah.
You heard of Carol, I mean, her aspect and her assessment on what you just said. But you continue to do this. When did you first start boxing? And when did your dad say, you know what, let's take it to another level?
First of all, my dad wanted me to start boxing to just learn how to self-defense.
Okay, defend yourself, yeah.
To just learn how to fight. So he put me into boxing in Parlor, California, Parlor Boxing Club.
Yeah.
And
that's the hometown of the Avalos brothers.
Yes.
Yes. Jose, and then we got my man.
I don't remember his name.
Here we go, right here.
Sorry.
Yes.
But they started with us.
Yeah,
too.
Chris gonna give me a hard time, man.
They started with us too.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
And Jose's fighting. I just got to throw that in. Jose's fighting August 2nd at Save Mart Center. Jose Avalos, you got to come and support him and watch him compete and watch him get that victory.
Combate Americas.
Yes, Combate Americas.
Of course. And he just wanted me to do the self-defense, and he saw me spar the first time, and I did real good with a kid that was like 4 years older than me, and he told me if you don't want to keep on going, or that's it.
Yeah.
And I just fell in love with the sport, and I fought, and I just kept on going with it.
There you go, man. I'm talking about, I'm sorry, Land Shark, that's his name. And so you picked it up, and a lot of times they'll get a taste of it and they don't want any of it.
Yeah.
But it sounds like you got a taste of it and you wanted more and more, almost like that piece of that Snickers candy bar. That, you know, then you wanted more. And I say Snickers because, hey, if it works for the heavyweight champion of the world, Andy Reese Jr., it's going to work for the Fighter's Voice.
That's right.
So tell us, man, you know I can't let you go without asking you, what did you think about the Manny Pacquiao-Keith Thurman fight? And did it go the way you thought it would go?
I wanted Pacquiao to win for sure because he's a legend in the sport.
Yes, he is.
And I thought it went how it was supposed to go. Manny was going to do the movement, the speed, and Keith Thurman
kills.
Yeah, speed kills. Exactly, exactly. And he did what he had to do. The age didn't look. It looked like it didn't affect him. He looked the same. He looked like he was 20 years old.
Yeah.
And
he did good.
Keith Thurman, he just didn't know what to reply back to, you know?
Right.
It was too fast. And
It's tough to make that adjustment when your target's moving around constantly and hitting you.
Yeah, exactly.
But at the same time, it was a close fight, too.
Yeah, it was very close. Yes,
It was a close fight. I give props to Keith Thurman. He
So
stayed
do
in
I.
there.
Oh, I do too. As a matter of fact, that's what I forgot to say earlier. Is Thurman? I give him a lot of credit because he was very graceful with his loss.
Yeah, very classy.
And he's a true champion to be able to get knocked down early in the fight like he did,
Yeah.
and then to continue to fight and go the distance.
In those times, he was even pushing the fight.
Yes.
And I give him credit for not quitting after that body shot.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh,
He
yeah.
sucked it up because he was hurt.
I told you
and
he
couldn't
took that
hide it.
mouthpiece
Yes, he
out.
did.
Yes.
He did.
Well, that's a veteran move right there.
Yep.
And then,
Very veteran move
And then
right
the other
there.
respect I give him to him, he knew he lost. And after
Yeah.
the fight, he gave
Oh,
respect
yeah.
to Manny. And I love
Perfect.
that. That's
Yeah.
how it's supposed to be.
That's exactly
I
how
like
it
what
should
he
be.
I like what he said. He said, "I told you before, I'm not afraid to let my old go.
Yeah.
If I
Exactly.
get beat, I get beat." I
Exactly.
love that. He kept
Yeah.
it real to the very
No,
end.
I really respect him for that.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
man.
Exactly.
So what is your record?
My record is 5-0, 4 knockouts.
Okay, and that's pro, right?
That's pro.
Okay.
Are you on this Toscano fight coming up August 3rd, Stockton, California? Are you on that
No,
bill?
I'm not on that fight.
Are you in shape right now?
Yeah,
'Cause-
I'm in shape. I'm in
Hey,
shape.
man.
You should be. What are
Hey,
your
bro,
weight? Are
come
you
on.
welterweight? 147?
Yeah, welterweight, 147.
Okay.
So
No, I don't want him fighting the whip.
No, I didn't
to
say
a guy,
that.
no, but a lot of times when I know two fighters right there, I'll pretend like I don't know there's a fight coming up
Well, he-
because a matchmaker put these two together, and I don't want to be responsible for that.
Yeah, no,
and I
Jesus
know the
has already
business,
got an
the
opponent.
business is already the way it is, and I don't
Right.
want to contribute to that.
Right.
I know somebody that likes doing that, but I
But-
won't mention their names.
But if they call me and they have a fight
You
for
gotta
me,
do what you gotta do.
I'm ready. I'm
There
ready
you
for
go.
it. So
That's a
There
true
you go.
fighter right there because
Yeah,
if you
exactly.
train on a regular basis and you're consistent and
Yeah.
dedicated, you always will be in shape. You'll always be ready. So when you get that call, it might be a real big call, and if you're not ready, man, that's going to be that opportunity may never come back at you again.
exactly.
Hey, I
know?
can't let you go because the experience you got, I want you to give it to them, man. Tell the viewers, the fans, and the listeners, especially when you got a father and son tandem, what advice do you get? Do you got to give a young man and their father's the trainer? What advice do you got to give him when he wants to quit or maybe say, man, this isn't for me because it never ends when I come home? What advice do you want to give him?
When it gets hard, I know you guys are gonna bump heads over little things, over big things, but at the end of the day, you guys, that's your dad and he's your son, and you guys just gotta communicate, get home, and sit one by one and just talk about it, you know, and let how your emotions feel. And I think that's the best thing to do. It helped me, and me and my dad are doing amazing.
That's awesome.
Bro, that's great advice right there.
Hey, you are so blessed.
Yeah,
I'm
you
so
are.
happy to
Thank
hear
you.
that.
Hey, only on the fighter's voice, the only voice that matters, was simply knocking out the competition,
That's
not
right.
one just on the mic and on the headset or whatever, but by the experience in the questionnaire and the answers you get. Sometimes you may not like the answer, then don't ask the question and don't stick around. But you know, we want you to stick around. We're coming right back for a commercial break. We're about to wrap up the show. Robert Garcia's Boxing Academy Selma. Stick with us. We'll be coming right back with the fighter's voice.
Every fighter has a voice.
What's up, guys? Daniel Cormier. I'm with the Fighter's Voice radio show.
They're more than just a voice. The fighter's voice.
We're back, baby.
Hi, I'm Jana Uribe, and I am with the Fighter's Voice.
The fighter's voice.
Rich Ortiz, Selma, California, live on location. We have with us the young prospect in the amateur division, Mr. Lee Rixwin. Did I say it right?
Yes, sir.
Hey, did you notice when we came back from commercial, you heard that beautiful voice? That's Janet Uribe, who sings the national anthem global, worldwide for all the big fights, man. And she gave the fighter's voice a shout out. She's also going to be a guest on the show soon. Lee's like, dude, I don't care about that. Let's talk about boxing. Let's talk about Manny Pacquiao, Keith Thurman. Okay, do you know Carol the Cut One? That means one day she's going to be working in your corner when you turn professional, man.
Yeah.
To make sure if you do get a cut or a headbutt, that blood stays under control and that she puts just enough Vaseline so those punches can roll
That's
off
right.
you like pretty boy Floyd Mayweather.
That's right.
What's up, my man?
What's up?
What's up, man? You gotta give me some.
Carol, did you see as soon as he sat down, young man had his mouthpiece on and everything? Oh, you're ready to go.
I know. That was pretty funny.
So why the sweet science? I mean, I bet you could play baseball. I bet you could play basketball, even swimming or track or football or any other sport that you care to play, tennis, golf, but you choose the sweet science. Why boxing?
Because boxing is a sport that I'm like the best at.
Oh, okay.
That's good.
So you didn't just wake up and become the best. You do a lot of training.
Yeah.
What's your strongest element when I say that? I mean, your speed, your right hand, your jab. What is
speed.
It? Oh, you got speed, huh?
Yeah.
So who do you watch to influence you to get that speed?
Earl Spence.
All right.
Wow.
That's good.
Nothing but the truth, huh? Nothing but.
Get down on that. That's right on.
Actually, I'm going to send you a link later on. I had the opportunity of questioning a small little interview with Errol Spence. I was off camera, but I asked him some questions, man. And he just said, hey, tell everybody get ready. I'm bringing the truth.
That's right.
You like him, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, he ain't no joke, man.
No way.
How about Pops? I see Pops over here. He got his camera on you and everything right here. How much of an influence was Pops to allow you? Because some fathers, they won't allow their kids to fight. So how did that conversation go when you first wanted to box? Did you say, Dad, I want to learn how to fight, or I want to learn how to box, or I want to test my skills?
So when that happened, he told me that he said okay, and he just brought me to a gym.
Oh, did he?
And I started training there, and then the gym just put me in with the #1 fighters.
That's great.
That's what's up.
Right away, I was like, what?
Oh, there you go. There you go. Listen, young man, right here next to you, you may not know this, but she's a CUTWOMAN, which means she does all the hand wraps, puts all the Vaseline all over your face, takes care of a fighter, man. So she may be working your corner someday, man. So what advice do you want to tell her? Like, hey, I'm the one, I only like it this way or like it that way. Do you have any preference at all? When I say preference, would you say, hey, Carol, make sure I'm always in the blue corner? Or Carol, make sure I'm always in the red corner? Or we haven't got to that part yet? No? Okay, so that means you're not a prima donna just yet. Because some of these fighters, oh my gosh, I'm in the dressing room and I'm listening to them. I'm not coming out first. I'm making sure I get red corner. I'm getting blue corner.
That's right. I hear it all the time.
So what are your demands? If Rick Merigian wanted to sign you, because he goes after only the best, when he wants to sign you, what are your demands? When I say demands, what would you like in place of your little contract, man?
I don't really get what you mean.
Okay, which means if you can ask for anything you want, say, okay, I'm only going to come in the ring and I'm only wearing Jordans. How does that sound? Right? You want that in your contract? I only wear Jordans, or only wear Adidas, or when I come into music, I want a live person to rap me in there, or sing, a band. You get all these depend. Okay, there you go. We'll put
you want a rapper?
We'll put that in your contract. We'll put that in your contract.
What did you say? You'd want a rapper?
Yeah.
Okay, I could hook you up. I know a few.
Oh, she does.
I know a special one for you.
But who do you want? What's your song? What's your walkout song?
NBA Youngboy. I don't know what song, but I'll have to find it.
Oh, it's okay. Well, we'll find it together. Let's talk about your first fight, man. The first time that the bell rang and you're competing, how did it make you feel? Were you nervous at all?
Yeah, I was super nervous.
Yeah, who's the guy? You don't know?
No.
Where would it take place at?
Like when did I fight?
Yeah. How long ago?
About 3 months ago.
Yeah. Was there a lot of girls in the crowd looking at you? Carol, was it? There probably was, huh, Carol? Good-looking young man like this.
But you know what? He sounds like he's disciplined, and he's going to have to stay focused and not even pay attention to any of that stuff that goes on. How old are you, by the way?
13.
13? That's cool. What's your long-term goal? I mean, you want to actually become a fighter?
Yeah,
you want to go professional?
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay.
Oh, he said I want to go pro.
Yeah, he does.
I like that.
He already knows what he wants.
I like that. You know what? Did you already spar today? Did you work out today?
Yeah, I just
Well, that means I'm going to have to come back again because I want to take a look at you, man.
That's right.
But I want to make sure I find you here when I get here. Because a lot of times I'll talk to people, I don't see them anymore. But you sound like you got a passion and a goal and you want to go get it.
Yep.
Mom, man, are you right-handed or left-handed?
I'm left-handed.
Oh.
I'm left-handed, but I fight in a right-hand stance.
Oh, you do?
I'm not
Okay.
mad at you.
That's
Shoot.
cool. That's good, though.
Wow, my man got it going on right here, man.
There you go.
Wow. Okay, what advice do you have to give to another young man like you that wants to try boxing?
If he wants to try boxing, he needs to put his all into it.
His all. Explain your all. What does he have to do?
Like work hard. If someone tells you to like do 5 laps around the park or something, you make it 6.
That's
there
right.
you go.
That's what I'm talking about right now. If you have one thing to ask the President of the United States, what would you ask him?
I have no idea.
Okay, let me ask you this. If you had a question, okay, I want him, and I'm going to send this and I'm going to tag him. I'm going to tag Earl Spence. If you have one question to ask Earl Spence, what would it be?
I'd be like, I'll ask him what made him so good.
What made him so good?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to take this little loop. I'm going to put it on Instagram. I'm going to compose it, and I'm going to tag him with that question, and we'll see if he answers.
That's cool.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, is that cool with you?
Yes.
Pops, is that cool? Okay. Yeah, Pops
Right
said
on.
yeah.
Good for you.
Hey, I like that, man.
And how many fights did you say you had? I'm sorry, Richard.
No, it's all right.
3.
3. Okay.
Yeah, there it is there. What made him so good?
Dang.
So I'm going to tag him. We're going to make that happen. Hey, on the Fighter's Voice, we make dreams come true. We go after it. We do our best. And we want to thank my man right here, 3-0.
That's right.
3-0. You're about to go global. I'm looking at a world champion right here.
Hey, this is the future right here, I'm telling you.
It is. Rick Morigan, get that contract ready. This is the guy right here that you want right here.
And you're in the right place. How do you like it here, by the way?
Good. This is like one of the places that they train me the hardest at.
Oh, good. Okay. I mean, I think that the surrounding here also, the element, just the vibe that you get from, the family and the coaches, I think that you can't ask for anything better than that. Huh? How often do you come here?
Every day.
Every day?
Ooh, that's what I'm talking about.
That's good, right
But
there.
I train 2 times a day. I train in the morning, like me and some of my gym mates.
He said my gym mates.
Yeah.
I like that.
We train like somewhere at like this park, and then later on.
Do conditioning there?
Yeah.
That's good.
Strength and conditioning. And then later on we come here.
Oh, that's good. So you do have like friends that come with you that actually, or did you meet the people here?
I met the people here.
Oh, okay. See? So you're meeting people that you have the same interests and you can actually train with them. That's awesome. Good for you. And you push each other, I'm sure, too, right?
Yes.
Because that's important. Good for you. I'm happy to hear that.
Thank you, my man. Thank you. Can't wait to have you back on the show. Rich Ortiz with the Fighter's Voice. We're going to take an intermission and we'll come back with closing segments. And we're about to take our hat off and show our respects to we lost one of our brothers, one of our combatants into the sport. And you're going to hear more about it when we come back. Rich Ortiz, your host, and my co-host, the CUTWOMAN.
I'm Bob Arum, and I'm with the Fighter's Voice.
My name is Andre Ward.
Knocking out the competition.
Fighter's Voice!
The Fighter's Voice. Knocking out the competition. Fighter's Voice Radio Show.
Hey, Selma, California. Robert Garcia's Boxing Academy, Selma. We're on location and we're live. The Fighter's Voice Knockout Podcast. With us now, our last guest of the evening. We have the trainer, Mr. Omar Sanchez. He took time out of his training session, works with kids, adults, amateurs, pros, and he even takes it at home because we just interviewed his son earlier. Welcome to the show, Omar. How we doing?
Hey, thank you for having me, man. How everybody's doing?
Yes.
We're doing good. And you know this beautiful woman right here, Carol the CUTWOMAN.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yes. I've seen him a lot, like the Golden Gloves, Junior Olympics, and things like that over the years as well. Not just at gyms.
You know, we had other guests on the show, and there's something that I wanted to acknowledge right from the get-go. But I wanted it with the right trainer, with the right person, and someone that has experienced as you. And you know as well as I do that when these fighters go inside of the ring, they don't just bring their skills, they don't just bring their fanfare, but they risk their lives in the ring. I mean, this is a hurt me business. I'm trying to hurt you, you're trying to hurt me, but at the end of the day, it's the beautiful sport that we call the sweet science. And this past Saturday, I believe, this past Friday, we lost one of our own. And,
yeah, that's correct.
And Carol, as you know, I mean, Max has fought here in Fresno.
Mm-hmm.
He's fought here in Fresno several times. He's close friends with Andy Reese, Andy Vincent,
right.
and Jose Ramirez, man, and he left everything in there. I mean, his trainer Buddy McGirt, he did a great job as watching over his fighter. But at the end of the day, man, certain things just happen, man, and. I want to take this time and just acknowledge, that we did lose one of our own.
That's
and
right.
This sport is to be taken very seriously. And it should wake our eyes up to know that any man that steps between the ropes right there, you got to respect and you got to honor their choice that they make to compete at the highest level, man.
That's
So at
right.
this time, we'll just take a moment of silence. I know we got a lot of things going on, but we'll take our own. And behind the scenes, man, we got KP. We're just going to take 10 seconds to acknowledge our loss. God bless Max and his family, and
yes, and Buddy McGirt.
And Buddy McGirt, and everybody, even the team, the hospital team, and everybody that was there on site, on location. And
Right.
the sweet science is a beautiful sport, but it should be taken serious 100%. And it has. Anything can happen in the sport. But you also do have your mishaps in any sport, even in golf, car racing, boxing, and that's not to scare anybody away. That's just to bring awareness. So I wanted your take on that. What went down, Omar?
Well, both of the fighters were undefeated.
Yeah.
You know, when you get to that level, you know, it's gonna get to the point that you're not gonna be able to hurt the opponent with one shot. So you're gonna take a lot of punish over the course of the fight, and you know, it could have been the other guy. You know, it happened to Max, and you know, rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace.
That's right.
And you know, we showed our respects because just a week before we lost pronounced Sweet Pea Whitaker, who was a legend of the game, and talk about a defensive guru, world champion, legend, Hall of Famer, and we talk about that. But yet, I want to talk about also some other things that are taking place in the sport and some upbringing, because I don't want it just to be, and I don't want to say it's negative. We're just showing our respects to those that have come inside the ropes. Give us your breakdown on Manny Pacquiao, Keith Thurman, from the opening round to the last round.
My personal opinion, Keith Thurman hasn't been looking as good as he used to at 140. Once he moved up to 147, yeah, he's been winning, he's undefeated, but he couldn't bring his power, he couldn't move his head movement, you know, and Manny is one of the special persons, you know.
Yes.
And to me, round 7, round 8, to me, it looked like 40 Manny.
Yeah.
That's my personal opinion.
A little bit.
If one of those top fighters go in the ring with Manny again, I don't know. I love Manny.
Now, why is that? What did you see where he looked 40? I can tell you what I saw. And then I can say what I saw just by any 20-year-old. So I want to know what you saw.
I don't know. It's just the way his face looked in between round 7 and 8. Like his face completely dropped. Manny's face.
I don't recall that, but yeah.
I mean, maybe it's just my
perception.
That's because yesterday Omar was wearing a Keith Thurman shirt. And he's all pro Keith Thurman. The only thing that I noticed is, and I will say this, I would love to see Manny move his head more. I would love to see him roll his punches just a little more. But I'm not here to critique. But what I did like, and I know, you know what? Before I get to that, what stood out the most into that fight with you? What's your best memory about that fight?
That, to me, Thurman looked like he was, I don't know, I just don't like Thurman at 147. So, you know, I really believe he was a top-notch fighter at 140.
Yeah.
At 147, I just don't see no jabs. I don't see no power, you know. Yeah. And that's my personal opinion. It doesn't mean I'm right. I mean, it doesn't mean I'm wrong. But, I mean, that's just the way
that's why you're here, my man. We can't all just walk the same and look the same and talk the same.
Yeah.
That's why you're here. And your experience, people respect your opinion.
Yeah. So, I mean, Manny is Manny, you know. He has a volume of punches.
Yes.
A volume of punches, and it's not just the speed that he has. He got power out there.
I got a volume of punches right now with the I'm rolling these punches right now.
Yeah. But I mean, it's
his footwork though is actually outstanding. I really like his footwork.
What stood out with you, Carol, in that fight?
A lot of things.
Okay, let's hear it.
I like that he was using his jab a lot, you know, and like I said, the hand speed, putting the combinations together, coming in, getting his shots off, coming out, moving around. I personally didn't really see his age really. And I think a lot of people might have counted him out before the fight because of his age, but I just don't. I think that Pacquiao landed the more effective punches overall.
Yeah.
You know, the faster punches, the more effective punches, and the power shots that Thurman landed, I really didn't see them actually hurt Manny or affect him, in my personal opinion.
Manny caught some clean punches.
He got some clean punches, but nothing that I felt was necessarily threatening or he was in trouble. But they definitely, you know, he did land some clean punches for sure.
I thought Manny, even before the knockdown, was initiating the fight. Was letting him know that it was a difference there, Omar. The speed was a difference. But that knockdown set the tone. And it also did two things. It made Keith Thurman fight. Because if you look at the 5th round, Keith Thurman started pressing the fight and let those dogs go as if to say, hey, I'm not going to chase a lead. I'm getting back into this fight. Yeah. And he did get back into this fight. Don't you agree?
Oh, yeah. No, it was a pretty competitive fight. You know, it was a split decision.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a split decision. It could, I mean, just I think the first round, that's what, you know, took the toll on the fight. But
And the body shot too in the 10th round, I think.
I thought Manny allowed him to come back into the fight. I did not voluntarily, of course, because that'd be taken away from Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman does have that will to turn it up and to try to go for it. He did the best that he could,
right.
But Manny was not going to be denied that night. He was not going to be denied, as if to say, I know something that nobody else knows. I can see the outcome before it even happens. His faith, first of all. You're not going to shake up Manny Pacquiao. He's been there, done that.
He wasn't intimidated at all.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't. You know, I asked you earlier, what stands out? Was there anything special in that whole fight that stands out?
Just
Did
his
he remind
desire.
you of anybody at all?
Did he remind? He reminded me of Pacquiao. He reminded me of what he stands for. What he doesn't allow his age to be a factor, and he's proven that. He got in there and he won the fight, and he proved it. And he was able. His conditioning is above all the rest. I mean, amazingly, his condition is just really outstanding for
second
for that.
to none. Omar, I'm going to put you on the hot seat.
Go ahead.
It's the 6th round. We're getting ready to go out for the 7th round. You're in the corner of Keith one-time Thurman. What advice do you give him coming out of that 7th round? What does he need to work out right now in the 7th round, the second half of the fight?
Well, the fight should have won before he even got in the ring with his training, with sleeping fully his 10 hours.
I heard a rumor about that too.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
you're right about that.
if you don't prepare yourself to go, you're not even respecting the legend. You gotta go in the ring with the legend. I mean,
you said it best.
Yeah.
You know,
you have to have the discipline
Yes.
and everything. It's
you cannot overlook anybody. You know what I mean? I seen guys that go in the ring with the record with 3 wins, 10 losses, and they upset fighters because they think they already own half of the moon and 2 starts. You know what I mean? So I mean,
where you going, Bobby? Get over here. I'm giving Bobby a hard time, man. He's eating all these strawberries right now, and then he just wants to leave. But no, I'm listening to you, my man. Exactly. You got to respect the sport, respect the event, respect yourself. If that did in fact take place, yeah, I can understand that. You know, I got to let you know, man. Watching him in there, I saw shades of a young Roberto Duran. Especially after that bow, he just gave you that old Roberto Duran stare. But what really stands out, the 3rd round, did you see that Ollie shuffle?
Yes.
Oh, didn't you love it?
Yes, I did.
And that's really not Manny Pacquiao.
No.
He doesn't show up, but you know what it says? He's having a good time in there. He's having fun.
He's
feeling
good.
Full control.
Yep. He was letting it.
And he's a showman.
Very much so.
And he's a showman. I just had to say that, man, because I enjoyed myself.
I forgot about that part.
Exactly. Hey, we're gonna switch it up. We got a big fight coming up this Saturday. And my girl here is going to be in the corner of one of the prelim fights or one of the fights that are on TV. I'm not exactly sure, but if I see her on TV, oh, you're going to be on TV, girl. Working the fight of her heavyweight, Rodney, last name?
Hernandez.
Rodney Hernandez is going to be on the undercard of Jose Ramirez and Maurice Hooker. So we're going to talk about this fight right now. The Avenal Kid, champion versus champion. Who wants it more and why? Who do you have going into this fight?
I got the local fighter
There
from
you
Central
go.
California,
That's
Robert Jose Ramirez.
Yes,
That's
excellent.
That's right.
I think we all do. We're all in agreement.
How do you see this fight taking place?
I really believe Jose is gonna go put pressure, go to the body, slow,
break him down,
take that jab away. You know what I mean?
There you go.
Don't let him think on his toes. Don't give him his space. You know, make him feel real uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And you know, Hooker is gonna feel the pressure.
Now, I'm going to ask you an odd question, okay? It's very odd, and I'm not afraid to ask these questions. How would you train Hooker to beat Ramirez?
Well, I will have a lot of pressure fighters, you know.
For sparring.
And I think one of the punches of somebody that puts a lot of pressure is a check hook, you know, looking for the right distance. If he crosses that line, once he crosses the line, it's an imaginary line when you're in the ring. If you cross that line, once you cross the line, you got to be on top of him with the hook or with the stepping back with the uppercut. But I mean, I'm giving ammo to the wrong person.
No, I know, but I don't want to. I don't want to ask the questions
Right,
where I'm here to scratch your back and wash your car and shine your shoes. I ask a question that other people are afraid to ask, especially in our own area.
Oh no!
You get the call right now. For whatever reason, heaven forbid, Jose Ramirez, and I'm not talking about Robert Garcia. His cut man misses the plane, misses the jet. Carol, are you up for the challenge?
Oh, hell yeah.
Are you up for the opportunity
Yes, I am.
to work the corner of the
yes.
Avenal kid, Jose Ramirez?
100%.
Would you change your game up, or would it be just another
No,
day in the office?
no, it'd just be another day in the office.
How would you mentally prepare yourself for that opportunity?
Well, I'm already mentally prepared for the fighter I'm working with, which I've worked with before, Rodney Hernandez, King Corso. And I prepare for what I need to do, and I prepare for the worst. I don't just try to get by. You just have to prepare for the worst and be ready. And that's what I do.
You know what? Not in those exact words, but I was talking to Manny Pacquiao's cut man, and that's Mike Rodriguez.
Mike Rodriguez?
Yeah. He did say you always got to be prepared for the worst.
See? Okay.
Always, exactly. And he worded it a little differently.
Okay.
Be prepared. I'm not sure. I don't want to misquote. Be prepared not to work, but be ready to work.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly how he rephrased it. Mike, you're probably going to kick my butt as soon as we get off the show, man, because it's good to have that relationship.
I think I kind of feel what he was trying to say, I guess. I think I recall maybe he might have said something like that.
Exactly.
But I think it's just best to always prepare for the worst. So regardless of what happens, you're always ready and you're on top of your game.
Hey, I want you to tell it again in case you just joined us right now. We're about to close right now, but I want Carol's take on the winner and why and how it's going to happen this Saturday.
I think that Ramirez is going to break down Hooker, with the body shots. He's going to break him down throughout the fight. And initially I gave him taking the fight in the 10th round, but I think it might actually, after hearing everyone talking and analyzing it more, I think he's going to probably take him in a little bit earlier, like 7th, 8th round. But I definitely give it to Ramirez.
Omar, who do we got? And
I think I got Jose Ramirez late round, round 12 by unanimous decision.
Okay.
I think it's going the whole 12 rounds.
Right.
Like I just said before, when you get two good fighters in the ring, it's going to be pretty hard to drop them in 1 round, 2 rounds.
Exactly.
I really believe it's going to go the full 12 rounds by decision, Jose Ramirez.
Here's my take right now. We talked about opportunity earlier, about the gym training, and even Carol gave her an opportunity. I mean, because you never know what can happen. Look for the best Jose Ramirez to take place. This is an opportunity on the global circuit. This is champion versus champion. This is Jose Ramirez's opportunity to make a statement, make a household name for himself, to come home back to the Avenal, California, with 2 belts. And the Fighter's Voice plans on being there and meeting him at the airport when he is victorious. I got Jose Ramirez by 7th round knockout.
Oh, good.
I want to thank all the viewers, the fans, and all the listeners. And as always, remember, every fighter has a voice, and so do you. Carol, let everybody know what to expect Saturday when you're working the corner of the big man, Rodney.
Well, expect a good fight. I believe Rodney's going to take the fight. It's actually a rematch, and he was robbed the first time, so he's going to have a chance to take that victory. And I believe he can knock him out. And I'm going to be there in his corner and taking care of him, along with the rest of the Hernandez team. And I'm really excited.
Omar, in 30 seconds, tell us why this gym right here stands out among the rest in this area and why it's giving young fighters, in pros, in amateurs, the opportunity here.
Well, we start from the fundamentals. We're not trying to say we have the best trainer. To me, the best trainer is the guy the ring right behind me. That's the best trainer, So you come and you do work, and, that's going to be the best outcome.
There you go.
There you go. We heard it from my guests. I want to thank everybody listening, streaming, and asking questions. I promise I'll get back to you on all these questions right now. Hey, tomorrow...
Is that Mayweather over there? Oh, no. It's Cynthia.
Oh, is it? Or is it Mayweather? Or who is it? Yeah, it's somebody. It's somebody rolling punches. Tomorrow on the show, we got Big Al Gonzalez, who'll be competing August 2nd, Save Mar Center, Combate MMA. Big Al's going to bring the noise. He's going to bring the voice. And also headlining that show, we got Zoila Frausto. And also, we've been verbally promised the interview, the one-on-one with Tito, the Huntington Beach bad boy ORTIZ.
Heck yeah.
And you know what? I want to say more and more, but I don't want to be those ones that always say that. But this is coming from Mike Eframowitz himself, who's going to join us on the show next Wednesday in studio.
Excellent.
And Tuesday, we got Big Rodney, and Rodney's going to tell us about his victory and some news that we'll be dropping. We can't give them all the news, Carol,
I know,
but we'll drop it with them next Tuesday.
That's right.
Thanks for tuning in for your questionnaire. Hey, remember, every fighter has a voice, and so do you. As always, I thank everything that I do, every opportunity, every breath of fresh air that I take. It's a wrap. Thumbs up for Richie.
Okay, fight fans, it's not goodbye, but until next week.
Remember,
It's always voiceography at its finest. So on behalf of Richard Ortiz, Cole Escovedo, the special guests, and all the crew right here at the Kick-Ass Podcast, saying hasta luego, babies. And always, thanks for listening.